Hello class, this is the first video covering section 1.5. We're going to cover order of operations, properties of real numbers, and simplifying expressions. So the first thing I'd like you to do is almost pause the video and see if you can get an answer for this problem here. Right? I guarantee if we have 25 students in the class, we're going to get more than one answer. Now, only one answer is going to be correct. But pause the video and try and work through this problem, right? Evaluate merely means just give me the answer. What is the answer when you put all this together, okay? If you've done it correctly, you should end up with 52, okay? If you did not get 52, we'll talk about why you did not get 52, right? So we have to think about order of operations, right? It talks about perform all operation inside grouping symbols, perform all exponent and square root operations as they come, perform all multiplication and division from left to right, and then addition and subtraction from left to right. I'm an old man, so when I was a kid, this was called PEMDAS, P-E-M-D-A-S, or they might say something like, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And that was order of operations. So the P used to stand for parentheses, but really it should be grouping symbols, right? Grouping symbols are like parentheses, brackets, braces, and so on. So it's more than just the P. The E stands for exponents, right? But it also stands for square root operations. And you take them from left to right as they appear. And then the M and the D stands for multiplication and division. And again, you don't always take the M first. Sometimes you take the D. Whatever comes first from left to right. And then the A and the S is addition and subtraction. Again, take them in order what comes from left to right. Okay? So if you do that, when you work on this problem up here, right, the P, right, you would do what's inside these parentheses first. Then you would do the multiplication and division as it comes from left to right. And then finally, you would do your addition or subtraction as it comes from left to right in order. All right. So let's keep moving on. Let's take a look at the next section here. It says, what are the grouping symbols, right? So it's not just parentheses. You have brackets. Oops. Right. You have parentheses. Oh, my pen's not working. You have parentheses. You have brackets, braces, right? These are braces. Absolute value bars, even fractions, and expressions under a square root, right? These are all considered grouping symbols, okay? Now let's go to the next page. Okay, so we have, they actually worked out the problem for us in the previous page. Right, where you see they simplify what's inside the parentheses to get 3 over here. And then it looks like they do the multiplication to get the 2 times -3. They do the division to get 24 divided by 2 gives me the 12. Right, and then they do the multiplication, and at the end you end up with 52. So let's practice a couple of these. So maybe this is a good time. And again, remember, practice exercises. The answers are always found in the back of the book. But before you look to the back of the book, let's try to do a few of these. Maybe try to do right now number 1, number 3. I'm just picking some at random here. Number 6 and number 8. So maybe try to do those 4. So maybe pause the video and try to do those 4 problems. So, for the first problem, I'm going to handle what's in the numerator first. So -10 times -5 is positive 50. -3 plus 1 is -2. So when I divide, I end up with -25. Okay. Number 3, I'm going to handle what's in the absolute value bars. All right, so 3 squared is 9. Minus 15, and then the 2 stays where it is. I still have the absolute value bars. 9 minus 15 is -6, And then the absolute value bars make -6 positive, so that becomes 2 times +6, which equals 12. Number 6, this will be -10 minus 5 is -15, plus 1 is -14. -2 stays where it is, and this becomes +7. Last one. Remember, PEMDAS, handle what's in the parentheses first. So this becomes 25 minus 3, right? Because 5 squared is 25. 25 minus 3 is 22. And 2 times 22 is 44, right? It's a little sloppy. Let's see if I can make that a little better. 44. Not much better, but you get the point. All right, so hopefully that went well. Let's keep moving on. Next, we're going to start looking at some properties of real numbers. Okay, so for example, if I give you 23 times 14 times 7, 23 plus 14 plus 7 plus 6, there are properties that allow us to reorder this to make the problem easier. For example, I know that 23 and 7 is 30, so maybe I'll switch the order of this problem where I'll swap the 14 and the 7, or I'll swap the 14 and the 7, so I can get 23 plus 7. And I know 14 plus 6 is 20, so maybe I'll swap the order. So I can quickly say, oh, 30 plus 20 equals 50. Right? I was able to regroup. So let's explore some more of these properties, okay? On the next page, the first property is the commutative property of addition and the commutative property of multiplication. It just says we can change the order, right? So something like A plus B is equal to B plus A, right? So think of that. Is 2 plus 4 equal to 4 plus 2? Sure, right? And 3 plus x is equal to x plus 3, right? Again, I'm just taking this property where I change the order, okay? And it works for multiplication as well, right? A times B equals B times A, right? So 4 times 5 equals 5 times 4, right? Or x times 7 equals 7 times x, right? The order does not matter, right? 4 times x plus 1 in parentheses equals the quantity of x plus 1 times 4. Again, the order does not matter, okay? So I'm going to stop here, and we're going to dive into this a little bit more in our second video. Thank you for watching.